Welcome to Tom's Tech Show. Today we're talking about VPNs and do they really protect you like they say on the commercial? Again, welcome to Tom's Tech Show. Today I'm kind of going over VPNs and what they do, kind of how they work, and what they protect you from. You see a lot of commercials out there that say, oh, this will solve your security problems. You know, you won't have any issues. No one can attack you. No one can get your information. And we're going to kind of go over what that is and why that may or may not be true. Okay, let's start with, first of all, how your computer network kind of works at your house or at a cafe or wherever you might be, how you get on the internet. Okay, first of all, you have your computer, your laptop, whatever that might be. The red line here is kind of a network connection. That's going to connect to a router. This could be at your home. This could be at a coffee shop somewhere. The next thing is going to maybe connect to some type of modem. Some routers will connect directly to the internet. If you have different like fiber to your house, it may just connect directly to the wall, but there might be a modem involved. Then that finally gets you to the internet through your ISP. So the first three steps are kind of your ISP. Now you're on the internet. Through the internet, there's a bunch of routers, a bunch of different things, you know, that move your traffic to where you're going. And finally, that gets you to some data center somewhere that houses all these web servers. Could be Amazon, could be Microsoft, Google. There's a host of cloud providers out there that set up websites for people. So that gets you to where you're going. So if you type in Google, it goes through all this, gets you to that server. That server then returns the page information, and you see the Google page come up on your computer. Okay, now if I add a VPN into this mix, we now have, well, currently your IP address that people see is what your house IP address is from your ISP or from a coffee shop or whatever that might be. Adding the VPN into the mix, now all of the traffic here, that's this green line in the diagram, is through the VPN. So the traffic to the router through the modem, or maybe if there's not a modem, traffic into the cloud is encrypted. So that gets to the VPN provider's router. So now traffic along this green line is encrypted. The source IP address is now your VPN provider. So you still have to have a source IP address that gets you onto the internet. It just won't be the one local to you. Now, if you're at a coffee shop and there's other people with their computers and they're connected to this same router, they're not going to see your traffic. And your ISP is probably not going to see what's going on inside that traffic because it's an encrypted tunnel. Okay, but on the other end, where the red line is, all of that information is still out there and available for people to see. So if you're not at your bank, if you don't see the little lock up in the top of your browser, then that page is not encrypted, and that's just text coming over, and all of that is just in the clear. Okay, so let's look at some of the things that VPN does not protect you from. Okay, first things, often they'll say it might protect you from malware or email scams. No, you can still click on a link in an email, but whether you're on a VPN or not on a VPN, that link, if you click it or open an attachment, that's still going to cause something to get on your computer as malware or try and steal your information by fake page logging into a website. Business data breaches. So if I go to an online store and I'm using my VPN and I put my information in to purchase something on an online store, and that store's data gets stolen by a data breach, my VPN has done nothing. My data is still gone. Webmail companies from scanning your email. So we know Google, we know Microsoft Hotmail or Outlook.com, and potentially Apple, any of these webmail providers a lot of them scan your email for phishing email, for spam, for that's how they create a spam filter, is to scan your email. They have to know what's in it, so that they run that through a pattern, say this looks like it's not a good email message, they move it to your spam folder. So all of that is still being scanned, your email is still being scanned and filtered and stuff. Doesn't matter if you're on a VPN. Web browser hacks. So you go to a web page that you don't know, and there's a hack in that web page, whether you're on the VPN or not, it's still potentially going to hack your browser and be able to take over your browser. Using your credit card online, does this protect you? In some ways, the local network, if you're in a cafe or a coffee shop, something like that on a public Wi-Fi, yes. But if you're putting your credit card into something online, and like in the second point here, there's a data breach, your credit card's potentially going to be gone. Email phishing scams. Somebody sends you a message, oh my gosh, you need to change your password, there's a problem, go to your bank right now, change your password. You click that link and it goes and it looks like, hey, this is my bank, and you enter your login name and password. No, you may have just been hacked. It's always best when there's some problem to go to your browser and type that bank name in directly. And once you go there, make a bookmark in your browser so that whenever there's a problem like that you see, go to your browser, go to your bookmark. That's where you always know that it's your bank and your link to your bank. Okay, so those are a lot of the things that doesn't protect you from. So let's look at a few things that it does protect you from. Okay, so as in the drawing, the green line, if you remember, that is showing where traffic is encrypted. So that's going to be in a coffee shop, in a public Wi-Fi, and other people are not going to be able to see your traffic in that local network. So that's a good thing. If you're at Starbucks, it's open Wi-Fi, or at an airport, open Wi-Fi. Other people will not be able to see what's going on if you're trying to log into your bank, things like that. We don't want that happening. When traveling outside the country, you can use a VPN to appear like you're inside the country. So I've done this before when I'm outside the country and I need to do some banking. I don't want to be logging in and thinking that, have my bank think that I'm from outside the country. This is one way that it will be that banks will flag you for being, someone potentially hacking your account. Because if someone is trying to use those credentials and they're from, communist country or another European bloc or Mexico or anywhere outside the United States, then that's going to flag it. It's going to say, hey, we're not going to let you log in until you verify who you are. So I use the VPN to make it look like my endpoint is inside the United States. The bank goes, you're in the US. Actually, I VPN into my home router. I actually have a home router here that has a VPN system in it, so that when I am outside the country, I VPN to my house, and then I do my banking, so that the bank thinks I'm at my house. So I've gone through, there's encryption from outside the country to my house, and then I connect to my bank. Another thing that it will do is keep your ISP from seeing your traffic. So your ISP sees everything that you do on the internet. That's like the first line. You can't go through anything, without your local ISP. This will keep them from seeing that. If you don't trust your ISP, that's kind of the first line of connection. If you don't trust your ISP, you're, going to be really in trouble. But it will do that. It will keep your ISP from seeing your traffic. It will also keep other people in your house. So say you're renting a room from someone, or it's a shared, kind of apartment. Everybody's got roommates, and you have different things. That will keep your roommates from seeing your traffic. If you don't trust your roommate enough, which why would you be a roommate, right? But anyway, it will keep them from seeing your traffic. Some people will use ISPs to illegally watch video content. So this has been one use that Netflix and other companies have try to detect and stop from happening. Because if you're here and you want to watch BBC, there's systems that will let you connect to the BBC, but we don't pay the tax for the BBC, so that's being done illegally. But some people do it. I don't condone it. I subscribe to all my channels that I need to. So that's kind of some of the basic things that it will protect you from. Use a VPN or not use a VPN. That kind of depends on your situation. If you spend a lot of time at airports or in public Wi-Fi, it would probably be a good idea. I have, of course, routers and a Synology NAS that has VPN capability built into it, so I VPN into my own house, and then all of my traffic looks like it's coming from my house, and that's just a one-time fee. After that, it doesn't cost me anything monthly, so if I'm not using it, I'm not paying for it. Where if you subscribe to a VPN, then that's going to continually cost you money. So you have to weigh the different options for what you want to do. But in today's day of people hacking and getting information any way they can, thinking about security is always a good idea. All right, that's our subject for today, VPNs and what they can actually do for you. I'm Tom from Tom's Tech Show, and as always, God bless.